Hello, live from my Airbnb. We are going to talk about films I loved this year but did not have time to talk about. Yeah, your girl's been travel dancing for a while. But she did get a chance to see the films Anora, Monkey Man. She plans on seeing The Last Showgirl. So if you guys want me to do a full series of stripper reviews, please let me know. But without further ado, let's get into it. How would you even describe Anora? Nora, the creative vision from filmmaker Sean Baker, who is known for exploring marginalized and underrepresented communities. A lot of us know him and love him from the Florida Project. A lot of us really love Tangerine. He's also done films such as Red Rocket, and I don't know, he's just the type of filmmaker and creator that I personally aspire to be. Someone who looks at people that are often overlooked and decides to tell their stories in a way that is both empathetic and entertaining without being paternalistic, stripping these people of their agency or their ability to take responsibility in the decisions that they make. Doesn't infantilize them. I think that's the word I'm trying to say. In any case, Anora, what is this movie about? The beats, it's a 23-year-old Russian-American tripper. I'm going to be using lots of little words like that because I don't want to get dinged by YouTube's algorithm. A 23-year-old American tripper who falls in love with the son of a Russian oligarch. He seemingly falls in love with her back. They get married, and then shenanigans ensue. That's kind of what this film is about, just like on its surface. On a deeper level, it just kind of explores what it means to be a girl growing up in New York City. Now, some people dislike this about the film, but I like how it doesn't really go too deep in depth about her motivations to dance or her motivations to do extra services or outside work. I like that it's just kind of seen as this is her personality, this is who she is, and it doesn't make her a bad person, quote unquote. It just makes her a human who maybe makes decisions that some people apparently can't fathom. Of course, as a lot of you know, I am a tripper. I danced off and on since I was 20 years old, and recently, after getting laid off, I decided to go back to the club and make a few bands because I just kind of, after a few months, I just realized that 9 to 5 life really isn't for me. Anyway, back to the film. What I will praise about this film, and what I can personally speak to, is its authenticity. Now, Anora is very, very specific to trippers in New York City, and I danced in New York City since I was like 23 years old, so like since 2016 or so. I also had a friend who is Russian, like from the country of Russia. She went and saw the film with me, and she praised the film for how unbelievably Russian it was. She was pointing out all the Russian references, telling me certain things about like the characters' backstories and like little things that I personally, being African American, things that I personally, being African American, would not have been able to perceive or know. So basically, yeah, on all accounts, very authentic. Like, I don't know what magic he put in the script or who he consulted with, but yeah, Anora is by far one of the most authentic, true to life tripper ex-work stories I've ever seen on screen. And spoiler alert, I liked the film. Cinematography was great and felt really rooted in reality. I watched the movie on film, like 0033mm. Who up film buffs, y'all probably know what that means. The over-the-top aspects felt incredibly real and grounded, like the shopping sprees, the Vegas trips. I'm currently in Vegas right now. All of that felt incredibly true to life and felt something that could happen to dancers I know. And it did help that this film was produced, made in New York City in a club I used to dance in. It features plenty of people I know, like plenty real, like, spoiler alert, there are actual real trippers in this film. It featured so many of them it featured like prominent figures in the nightlife scene. They are also extras in this film. So, yes, 10 out of 10 for authenticity, 10 out of 10 for cinematography, and for me, 10 out of 10 on the story. Anora is a great, beautiful film that deals with sex, or that deals with work in an empathetic and heartbreaking way. So, yeah, go see Anora. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will too. Second on the docket, Monkey Man by the oh so sexy Dev Patel. I'm not sure if y'all knew, but that's my man. Anywho, so Monkey Man, very different than Anora. Monkey Man is a classic revenge tale. It's basically on the surface about a young man who is driven for revenge and what he attempts to do to get there. Uh, Unfortunately, I did not have an Indian friend to take to kind of explain certain references and certain things to me. But I mean, the film is also amazing because it delves into political, religious, socioeconomic issues and like things that are really specific to what is going on in India right now. I looked it up, but I mean, I'm not even going to pretend to do some sort of really deep, in-depth analysis when I can barely stomach American politics sometimes. I'm not going to attempt to explain the nuances of Indian politics. I can only learn as much as I can, and then hopefully someone checks me in the comments about what's right or what's wrong. Anyway, what I loved most about this movie, aside from, of course, the cinematography, the acting, and the story, uh, the there's the story within the movie, and then there's the story outside of it. The fact that Dev Patel didn't see himself getting cast in like lead action roles, although he looks like Dev Patel. The fact that the film lost funding for a while, that actors were getting hurt. Dev Patel filmed a lot of the film's iconic scenes while he was like in a cast, or while he should have been in a cast. Drone shots, the use of iPhones, like you would never have known that a lot of this film was like shot on an iPhone, the way it came out so seamlessly and so crisply. Like basically it is this film is Dev Patel's baby, and you can tell the amount of effort and love he put into it. The story, the one thing I will say about this movie is that the dialogue isn't always there. Like some lines just kind of fall flat. Certain scenes maybe could have been cut a little bit or shortened, but honestly, that's, as one of my friends likes to say, picking bones out of eggs. Overall, was a really amazing film. I was very happy to watch it, not just because I have a crush on Dev Patel, but because it is a movie that you typically don't see in Hollywood. Like, in a world where you only have Neon or A24 do anything interesting, and everyone else is just interested in either Marvel movies or remakes or, whatever, whatever certain things that get made are, and you're like, what is this? Anyway, in a world of that, to see an indie film with a non-white lead, with a lead that's usually typecast in like IT roles, it was just really inspiring to see, and it was amazing to see Dev Patel as a creative pull this off. I think it's his first directorial debut, which was also incredibly impressive. Yeah, I was super, super impressed by this movie, so go check it out if you haven't yet. Now, if you know anything about me, I like the number 3, but the thing is, there wasn't really another movie that I saw this year that really stood out. Well, the movies that I saw this year that stood out that I felt like the girls needed to know, like The Substance, for better or worse, or Hario, oh god, I can't pronounce his name. I'm just going to put a screenshot on the screen. Anyway, those films I already did talk about. So the only thing to do now is to ask you guys what you think I should watch and review next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love y'all. I hope you have a Merry, Merry Christmas. I'm going to try not to take another 2-month break, and see you in the next one.
So Anora came out on digital, and I saw it in the movies, and I've been wanting to talk about it. I have to say I did like the movie. Mikey's performance was amazing, and the guy who played Igor was just like, who is that? As a black woman, I couldn't believe how much Oscar buzz there was surrounding Mikey's performance, and not because of her acting ability. I think she is obviously amazing. Like, she ate down that character. Could you guys imagine if it was like a black woman playing that role? It's like a lot of laughs in the way that she was like telling off those guys, and she just had a take no shit attitude, and she was so New York. Like, she is a stripper, but she's like tough, and I think that was a lot of her personality, especially in like the middle. I don't know, I feel like if a black woman was playing that role, it would be deemed as ratchet, or it would be deemed as not an Oscar-worthy conversation.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it first. This movie is gonna upset a lot of people. I, for one, was gooped and gagged, and I'm gonna tell you why. My God, this movie is so important because it's an action-packed movie with so much heart in it, because it's giving a voice to the people who've been silenced.